My audio cut out on this, so might not hear everything the proper way. Basically, this video today is how to make your cards white bordered. Here I am putting tape down on screen. It is I recommend painter's tape, at least a ½ inch. You could go wider at 1 inch, but after that you kind of cover up too much material and more likely to pull stuff up. Painter's tape is the type of tape that will less likely tear your cards. So here I pull the tape back just far enough to where only the black borders are visible. A little hard to see on camera. I'm attempting to show you. I'm adjusting it here, so that way I have a clean line to just erase that. It takes a little bit going back and forth to ensure that I have the straightest line and that I have only the black border available. As for legality purposes of a card, you have to have the color stripe available, the dots in regards to how many resources it gives you, the cost of the card, defense value and offense value. Obviously the center of the card being text and picture must be visible. So it does take a second to line it up, and I do recommend having some sort of cutting board or something you don't care if you got tape residue on, as regards to the tape being pressed down. And then the erasers I have are Sandpaper erasers by Tom Bow. I will have the link to both the tape and erasers in the link in the description or a pinned comment. Sorry about the shaky camera. My table is not the most stable, especially when I'm vigorously scratching off the edges of my white borders, black borders. And some people ask me, why did I go about making the black borders, white borders? Honestly, my first couple prize packs were history pack. I enjoyed having different colored borders than everybody else, and people really didn't like white border that much in regards to reception, and I really wish there was foils for a white border. So I ended up just looking up online, like, hey, how to make my cards white border, because Magic the Gathering had white border cards as well. So I was curious if anybody had gone about that. And I found an article where some people were saying, hey, you could use acetone in a Q-tip. I'm like, I don't really trust acetone, especially in regards to the color stripe on the top of cards. And then I found another one where they recommended Sandpaper erasers, which are the brand that I have here. Hopefully you can find them at your local hobby store. I'll have Amazon links where they can be bought. Do be careful when you're peeling the tape. I like to go halfway on each direction. I didn't do so here on this one to reduce the amount of potential ripping of the art. But basically all you do is you line up your edges with the tape on both sides, or on all sides, and then I try and go a little freehand here and there to get a little bit closer to the border, because sometimes my taped edges aren't at the best. I'm getting a little bit light here as I'm in the corner of my living room. The lighting is not the best in regards to see how close I am to the edge. And I got a full one. I like to have a couple of these. I've gone through 2 whole sticks. You see those little nubs on the one is almost completely gone, and then one is getting close to being a small nub again. And I like saving a full one to do a little closer lineup on the edges. Sometimes the middle of my tape is a little pushed up. So I try and clean that up. Here, an absurd amount of shaking. Goodness gracious, it's a good thing the audio is gone, otherwise I would have to deal with the bonking noise that my table is on the edge. There is a downside to this. Obviously the value of your card goes down, but you do get that nice foiling on the edge there as I'm trying to focus the camera and it refuses to do so. I do have another eraser here. It is a more softer eraser. Again, I'll have that brand up on screen and a link to it on Amazon. These are not affiliate links, so you don't have to worry about giving me money. But you're more than welcome to do so. Are you traveling this competitive season anywhere? Because if you are, I have the ultimate combo for you. Brought to you by Manta Sleep. First off, we have the neck pillow traveling kit right here. And it's just as simple as blowing it up. Boom. You can make it as stiff or as flexible as you want. Super soft material and multiple different ways of using it. My fan favorite here, you crinkle it up to the side and just stuff your face in. You hug it. And then I use that to lean against my head against the plane. And paired with that, I have been using the old model here, the Bluetooth sleeping mask, which used to be 2 parts. Now is 1 integrated part, Manta Sleep mask. It's fully blackout mask. It is integrated as 1 piece. Now, not 2 pieces for the Bluetooth. And sliding, so if you're a side sleeper, you can move this either to the side by your temple or on top of your ear. It's super good. I legitimately, like, I could blast this light in my eyes and I would not know with this mask on. I use it all the time since I am swing shift, so that means I get off work at 10 p.m. So that means I sleep until 10 a.m. But with the mask, I don't see the sun. Yeah, that's Manta Sleep. They are my new partner to the channel. I will be using them as I go to ProQuest Yokohama. Fingers crossed that I actually qualified. If not, I'll be there for side events. Yeah, back to your regular channeled show. English is hard for me, right? And then, like I said, I'm just trying to clean up those edges. And how with this process, you get some pretty jagged lines. If you care about that, I kind of think it gives more to the aesthetic. In regards to, 1 second. Okay, unpause this. Yeah, the softer rubber eraser is what I use to clean up the edges. In regards to trying to be a little bit less scratchy. But let's fast forward a little bit through here as we're just doing more of the same, taping up the edges and scratching off the edges. So it's not tedious work. As you can see the length of the video, I can normally do this in regards, I think a single card 10 minutes. I was trying to talk while I was doing this, but the audio got cut out, so you can't quite hear what I'm saying. Here, I'm cleaning up the edges again with a soft rubber eraser. Here, you'll see that I try and show off the back. That is the downside of using a sandpaper eraser. You're going to have a bunch of tiny little bits of the eraser. No matter how much you try and sweep it off, stuck to the cutting board, and it will cut up the back of your card just a tad. So again, if you already cared about the value of cards, so you probably wouldn't be doing this. And now 100% the back of the card is also getting scratched up. I'm going to fast forward through here towards the end. I do tape up the top and I scratch off the edges, obviously. That's what I'm doing. And here towards the end, I tried freehand a little bit. I do not recommend this at all with any regular attack or non-attack actions that have a color pip. Do not freehand top at all, because you will scuff it, and I'll show here towards the end as I'm doing the bottom border now, cleaning that up with the sandpaper eraser. And you can see that I have a fairly thick tape. I didn't know where my painter's tape was, so this is just Scotch tape, and that's like a full inch. So that's what I'm saying. I recommend the half-inch tape. You have less surface area potentially being taken off. And here I actually did the halfway between each side, and then let's slow it back down. Trying to find the orientation where you can best see it, and I'll pause it right here so that you can see it just above the word spring. You can see it's dug in a little bit. That would be a no-no if it was a more like an attack action or an action card that required using the color pip, as I'm pointing out, that I have scratched off a little too much. So do not freehand. And that's how you make your cards white bordered.